My name is Kenley Dillard. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I have been a caricaturist for 15 years so far. What I do basically is I usually draw, wow, how can I sum it up? I, I draw cartoon versions of people. Basically, it's a loaded portrait. That's pretty much what I do. I started drawing when I was really young, like 2 or 3 years old. Way before I knew how to write or anything like that, that's something I've always knew how to do. I remember the first drawing I ever did. I drew Mickey Mouse. That was my favorite character at the time. It's funny, a lot of people have favorite artists, like favorite comic book artists, favorite this, famous that. I'd have to say my biggest influence, bigger than Disney, is my family. My father is a great artist. My grandfathers were great artists. My uncle Floyd, he's a great artist. My aunts were great artists. This was something I've always knew. This is how I grew up. This is who I am. I don't have one style. I basically do it all. So I guess life is my style. I just blend into anything. Because I have a memory that is as fast as a camera. I usually draw straight out of my head. I draw everything I've ever seen. So in other words, if I could see it, I could draw it. The other thing is that I make up pictures. I don't rely on, having a model in front of me and be like, oh, I'm a slave to a photograph or whatever, or a model. No, I see it in my mind and I put it down on paper, and that's all she wrote. Here's the hilarious part. The style that people expect from me is they usually try to assume what I'm gonna do. In my subject's mind, at least most of the subject's mind, they already have a preconceived notion of what I'm gonna draw. And then when I draw them, when I'm being objective about it, because that's how I am as a caricaturist, they're very shocked by the results and how much it looks like them. So it's one of those things where people can't really predict it. I've been told I'm very sketchy. I've been told that I have a very loose line. I've been told a lot of things, but when it really comes down to it, I'm very straightforward. I don't believe in pulling punches. So I think it, I imagine it, I draw it. Plain and simple. And whatnot, I try to be as clear and concise and compelling as possible. Like I said, I can't stress enough, I'm a very straightforward artist. So if I want to tell a story or if I want to portray a character, I just do it. My whole thing is that I've been told I was fast my entire life. The truth be told, I never ever tried to be fast. But all through my life, since I was in pre-kindergarten, when they used to watch me draw, and I used to have the teacher look over me, he's like, you draw too fast. When I went to a specialized art high school, the teacher used to get frustrated with me because she ran out of projects for me because I would finish them all in one period. When I went to amusement parks to do caricatures, didn't get many complaints, but I was faster than a lot of the top speed caricatures that were there. Last 2 speed competitions I was in, I was disqualified twice for drawing too fast, which says a lot. So, but the thing is, I don't try to be fast. It just comes natural. When I decided to be a cartoonist, I was awake when I made that decision when I was very young. Okay, I could definitely see myself participating like in DC or Marvel, drawing comics, because they want somebody who could draw a story, who can beat the deadlines, which is very important, and who has their own unique style. I could do all 3 of those things. I definitely won't have a problem getting in and staying in. For me, it's just a matter of time. If not them, I'll do it myself. I said it. At Disney, they talk about dream come true and everything. I think it's time that I really focus on what my real dreams are, my conscious dreams, which is why I decided to channel all of my creativity and my abilities into drawing comics. That's what I'm saying. I'm here to achieve my real dream. I never really thought about if I had superpowers or if I was a superhero, what type of powers I would have. Because I already have those powers right here. I'm already, been blessed with gifts and opportunities and all that. So I really don't need to be a 2-dimensional character. I am what I am. If I had the opportunity to come up with a comic book and someone would fund it and all that other stuff. You know, I really don't know. I mean, it would be definitely based off of real life situations. I never really was a big superhero fan. Probably be a variety book of some sort. Definitely not just one genre. Well, my strengths as an artist, whatever I choose to do, I could turn any so-called weakness or whatever into a strength because it all works for me. I make it that way. I really can't think of any real strengths or weaknesses other than my point of view. Like I said, I make everything favor me when it comes down to cartooning. I don't get awkward. I don't get afraid. Even with this tablet, you know what I mean? I don't say, oh, I'm bad at this or whatever. I don't say things like that. It don't exist in my world. When I was a baby, yeah. When I was a baby, I used to be very competitive psychologically. To me, it never made sense for art because when I was a little kid, I used to have classmates or people who were envious of me or jealous would say, I draw better than you, or they would say, I have friends that draw better than you, and all that. They talk a lot of crap. A lot of them didn't know how to draw, and a lot of them felt ashamed because they couldn't draw, so they would pick on those who could draw. I was usually the target. I don't really consider myself a competitive person. I don't know. Competition, you know, psychological thing. I always make the advantage for myself, or the vice versa, if the situation deems fit. Okay? Well, the reason why I make art is because it's my calling. Everybody has something they love to do. Everybody has something that they gravitate to quicker than others. So I do this because I was put on this earth to do this. I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years, to be quite honest with you. What I know is I'm going to be happier in 5 years because I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing right now that makes me happy. So that's what I got to say about that. Well, wow. What do I want to change about this world through my art? That's, you know, it's a few things. Well, I mean, for starters, the contradictory. There's a lot of contradiction in this world. Guys are tough when they beat somebody else up, right? Guys are tough when, you know what I mean, the whole macho thing. But yet, they're supposed to be sensitive towards other things. And when those two clash, you got a confused person. Now, when I draw a cartoon, you know, it would touch on certain things like that, just to share contradictory. You know, that's what it really comes down to, you know, the contradiction of peace and war, that type of stuff. It can get really political without really being political, which is a contradiction in itself. There you go, another story. So much material out there. It just comes down to that one word, contradiction. How do you fight it? Well, I write. I'm a writer. I also write poetry. I'm not a rapper, but I write lyrics as well. Let's see. How long have I worked on a Wacom tablet? Not very long. I'm a pen and paper guy. As far as artistic training is concerned, I went to a school here in New York called the High School of Art and Design. Yeah, you know, I've dabbled in college, you know, one community college, blah, 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 blah. I would have to say, as much as I've had artistic influence around my family and everything, I'm basically self-taught. Like, I've taken the time to research it, practice, you know, studied tons of books, practice. That's all it comes down to. So, yeah, it's 360 all around.